What's up guys, I'm Suman from Phonestein. So here is the Moto G second generation. So this phone I've been using it for say nearly a week. It's not a week since, and this phone has quite amazed me even though it has the same old internal specs like the old brother for this. But still, is it worth the cost that you are paying for this device? So let's find out in this review. So let's start off with a physical overview. So in the front you have a 5-inch 1280 into 720 HD display, and in the top you have a 1.2 megapixel camera, and here you have the earpiece, I think with a speaker integrated, and here's a external speaker, and you have the back, home, and multitasking capacitive buttons here, and towards the right side you have the power button and the volume rockers up and down. Towards the left side there's nothing, and on top you have the 3.5 headphone jack, the secondary noise cancelling microphone, and at the bottom you have your micro USB port, and at the back you have an improved 8 megapixel camera, no optical image stabilization, an LED flash, and the Motorola dimple which everyone likes, and a good design which has been followed from the Moto X. Performance wise, this phone has really outperformed or most of the phones that you can find in the price range now. So one main reason why I think this is my thought, so I'm not sure why it is, this Moto G second version performs better than most of the phones is that it has a 5-inch display compared to the previous 4.5, 720p resolution. So when a screen enlarges, there's less pixels to push while turning on the display. So that means the powerful processor in this needs to push only less pixels. So eventually this is going to be fast. So as you can see, it is snappy, good, and actually in fact it is really good in case of the performance. So if you want to check out my performance of the gaming or benchmark review, you can check out in the link right below that like button, and I have even the unboxing of this device, so you can check that out right below. So this phone is running on the latest version of Android 4.4.4 KitKat. So I'm sure this will get the Android L update. Let's talk about the design followed by Motorola. So this is the most ergonomic phone that you can find now, in fact, because as you can see here, the edge on top it's bulged with a tapering end, so it feels good. Holding with one hand is really good. And talking about single-handed usage, this phone is really useful. You can use it single-handedly. As you can see, I just pull down from here, keep it like this, and I can use it with one hand. So even though my hand is an average size hand, I can use this with great comfort, and it's really useful. I can even reach to the other side. It's only a matter of just moving your phone like this, so there's no need for me to use two hands. And say for typing purposes, actually one hand is far more than enough as I can reach the other end. And so in terms of single hand usage, this is really good. This is a 720p display, and combining with that front facing stereo speakers, so that means it has to perform really well in terms of entertainment. So let me just show you a video where I'll be testing the video quality. So this is a HD video, front facing speakers, so you can see how it performs well.
Con los terroristas.
So if you'd have seen from this video, the speakers are really good. So they're not as equal to the HTC One, but still they perform really well. That's because they provide good amount of, say, the bass is really good, which comes out from this mid-range Android device, and the video quality is pretty good, except for the fact that the brightness is being lowered while playing a video. So I don't know if that's a software problem or Motorola has purposely kept that. So who knows? Let's find out or wait for the next update which will come, and let's see whether it gets rectified. And talking about the apps, so there are a few apps which come pre-installed with the Moto G second version, and those are Motorola Alert, Motorola Assist, and Motorola Migrant. So and Google Translate, which are usual Google apps which come with this, and Motorola Help. So these are not such great apps which I'll be using, so that's why I'm mentioning as to them as not great, but it may be useful to most of them for alert purposes, for locating your phone and all those kind of stuff maybe. And talking about the battery life, I've had the best battery life from a mid-range device like this because uh, today, actually, while filming this, I charged my phone to 100% in the morning, say maybe around 6, and in the evening while I came back from my college, so that's around 5:30 in the evening, I lost only about 30% of my battery, where I used my phone to watch videos while going in the bus or and while playing games in the free time. But still, this phone has been able to manage with only just removing 30% of the battery life, say from morning to evening, which is nearly around like 12 hours. So according to me, the battery life in this phone is really good, and per people who want a smartphone with very good battery life, I surely recommend this boy here. The camera has been improved a lot. So now this camera is an 8 megapixel sensor with no optical image stabilization, but with better resolution that you can take photos. So, and talking about the user interface first, so this is somewhat a crappy interface that I don't like. So it's, you need to rotate. It's not as simple as, say, the Google Nexus's UI or some many other UIs like the HTC One, or say even for example Samsung, which is damn easier than this. So this is somewhat crappy, and but the camera quality is really good. And talking about the camera, it is really good, and the focusing is really good in this camera. So as you can see, it focuses really fast. And but one thing about this camera is that you can either tap to take a photo or press the volume down key to take a photo. So one disadvantage is that while pressing the volume down key, it is going to be a little shaky, and that's the matter, or say the fact, that why the front facing camera is little bit a disadvantage. So this has the best front facing camera in any mid-range device, but when you're trying to take a selfie with the volume, pressing the volume button down, this is really going to be a tricky situation. So where you have to tap the home screen or say the screen to take a photo, so that is going to be a little disadvantage. So make sure you have some settings prepared for that, or else this is one of the best cameras. And one good app which is pre-installed in this Moto G second version is the FM radio. So now you have an integrated FM radio, so you need not download any third-party apps to get this. So this is one good stunt or say trick from Motorola. So in terms of web browsing, it can handle, say, nearly all the websites without any mistake or say any flaw in that, except for loading times will be dependent on the net speed with which this comes. So As you can see, it gets loaded at times and my internet plan is really slow, but loading web pages won't be an issue. And talking about the display, you can take a look. The pictures or say the text is crisp, sharp. Zooming in and zooming out is not a problem. It is really good. Actually, in fact, it is pretty good when you compare it with most other devices at this range. So guys, my thought on the Moto G second generation is that this is the perfect bang to the buck ratio phone. So if you are planning to get this, don't hesitate because this phone is really good except for very few really minor areas. Otherwise, this phone is a good performer in hardware wise and camera wise in all the departments. This phone has been performing well from the time I got this. So be sure that you get the Moto G if you're on a budget. And so guys, if you like my video, please be sure to hit a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to Phone Scene right below. Peace.